This is part 2 of today's video. It's been quite a stressful one. If you want to go back and view part 1, it might be worthwhile because there's a bit of dialogue in it. I've just finished moving out of Opal One in Newport, and this is why I think you should reconsider if you're thinking about moving there too. It's just the scraggly bits left to do in my room now. It's all echoey in here. Chair's on its side because I had to get stuff that was underneath it. It's not like a bomb's hit it or anything. Don't you find that when you're moving, the toughest stuff to move is the little bits and pieces right at the end, which you haven't quite got a place for? Well, that's the position I'm in now. But I should be done in about an hour's time. I've also changed my mind about Opal. If you want to move here for your first time, don't do it. You're going to regret it. I don't know a single person that stayed in Opal, that wants to stay in Opal again. Maybe they're going to carry on staying there because they're just too lazy to look for somewhere else, or they can't find somewhere else. But trust me, it's the worst place to stay in Newport. It's like a prison camp. I said earlier that in Opal, nobody likes Sue, who runs the place, but I took that back, to be fair. But no, I'm going to keep to my word and say no one really does like her. When you come here, she's the woman that looks a bit like a horse. You know, everyone looks like some kind of animal. I probably look a bit like a monkey. She looks like a horse. I've never actually put her on any of my vlogs because I don't think she'd want to be filmed, especially not in this light anyway. And when someone treats you like a prick, like she did today, it might sound like I'm having a bit of a moan, really. Well, the reason is I am. I'm having a mega moan. Do you want to hear some of the stuff that Opal have done to me and all the other students that lived here in the last year? Let's pick a few. First of all, on floor number 1, I'm floor 3, there's a sign that says 1, so everyone knows it's first floor. That sign, the number 1, went missing. Obviously nothing to do with me, you know, I'm a bit too old for that. But everybody in this block and this block alone got a charge of something like 13p to contribute towards the cost of replacing that sign. Why is this unfair? Well, it's unfair because I feel unjust, because it's nothing to do with me, I haven't touched it, obviously. The second being is that all the doors were unlocked to the whole of Opal. Anybody could have walked in off the street. Someone's friend, I don't know, someone else could have done it. And for all I care, it could have been one of the staff that did it. But the thing is, why am I getting charged a pathetic thing saying 13p to pay this thing, or £10 charge if I don't pay the 13p, or whatever it was? Okay, I might be being a bit pedantic there. Some people would say, just pay it, get it over and done with. People are like that. Yes, people are like that. Okay, how about this? Bev got charged £2,000 to her card, £2,000 that she'd already paid because they made a mistake. They didn't contact her. She had to find out on her own bank statement that they practically stole this money off her. If she hadn't noticed, which she's going to because it's a lot of money, they wouldn't have refunded her. Not just Bev, Gemma as well, and several other friends throughout Opal. We're not alone. Do you want a car parking space in Opal? They auction them off. 300 odd pounds for the year for one of these car parking spaces down there you see me walk past so often. I've already mentioned broken locks. Well, 3, maybe 4 times throughout the entire time I've stayed at Opal, all the locks in all the different blocks, that's A, B, C and D, have been broken. So you can walk into any single flat you want. I mentioned this on one of my earlier videos. You could see me going up and just pushing the doors and just saying, this is wrong, this shouldn't be. Terrible. No, I haven't finished. The lifts. You know Bev lives on the 5th floor of block D, the 5th floor. Her lift was broken for 3, maybe 4 months of the 8 or 9 that she spent living here. 5th floor. No refund was given, no apologies, nothing like that. It just got fixed one day. It's not just hers as well. Ours got broken too in this block. No, not just her block, my block as well. Block B had the lift broken for probably a month, maybe 2 months in total. So I had to run up and down 3 stairs, which, yeah, I could do with losing a few pounds, but at the end of the day we paid for the lift and it wasn't getting fixed. They were taking their time to do it. Also, look at the size of this kitchen. It's poxy, absolutely tiny, 1 sink in it. I had 5 people living in this flat. There's other flats costing exactly the same amount of money with kitchens 2, maybe 3 times the size of this, more than 1 sink, with less people staying in them, only 3, maybe 2 people staying there. Not just kitchens either. Bedrooms are the same. Excuse the mess, you know I'm moving, but this is like one of the deluxe rooms. I had to pay an extra £10 a week for this. Bev paid exactly the same for a deluxe room on the other side. Her room, as you saw in yesterday's video, is tiny. It's half the size of this. However, Bev being Bev didn't complain. She just stuck with what she had and just lived through it, and she spent most of her time here anyway. Shall I finish there? No. There's something else. On the very, very first day of university back in September, late September last year, all the blocks of the whole of Opal had their water turned off. Do you know how this feels for a brand new student starting a brand new school? Not even an apology. Quite frankly, I'm disgusted by this place. Mail goes missing. So much mail went missing, they had to send a letter round apologising to everyone. Do you know how important it is for someone like me to have their mail coming to them, and when they don't get it, how much of a frigging storm it can create? Just frankly, don't stay in Opal One. It's a prison here, it's not very nice. I'm 29, I'm being treated like a 6-year-old. The people that run it walk around with a bunch of keys by their side, wearing their green Opal t-shirts, and they're like, yeah, authority me, and they feel they're above everyone else that's living here. And once you're tied into a contract and you can't really get out of it, it makes you sick, you know. You come here because you think it's the better place because you're going to be paying more, whereas in fact you're treated like a proper retard. You know what? I think that was my very first YouTube rant. I hope it comes across how much I despise this place now. I'm a pretty fair guy. Actually, no, I'm a very, very fair guy. I'll give a lot more than I receive. That sounds sexual. I'm going to take that out. I'm a fair guy and I don't abuse trust, whatever the situation. So unless you've already signed up, please don't do it. Look for somewhere else. Try and get in halls on campus or maybe the countless other houses that are around here. And believe me, there's plenty of them, plenty cheaper, easier parking, nicer facilities, all bills paid, better than this place. There is one good thing, a silver lining to the crap storm that is Opal One. And that's Gary, who works here downstairs. He's a big chap, he's got a very strong Welsh accent, and he's absolutely lovely. If you have got the unfortunate experience of actually signing up to live in here for the next year, get to know Gary. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Say Sam said hi. Call me paranoid, but I do a lot of stuff on my computer, and I know it's very, very important. I'm always worried about people doing little things to my computer and changing settings on it. People like him. But what I don't expect is to come back to my room after I've been out, after one of the people have been upstairs, namely Sue, and have my computer moved and restarted for some strange, mysterious reason. Why would you do that, Sue? What is your problem, you little horsey-faced creature? Actually, you know what? I have got a picture of Sue on my computer. Do you want to know what she looks like if you're going to move in here? So who to look out for? Her. That one there. If you see her in Opal, stay away from her. When you first move into a new flat, just like Opal, you get a checklist of things that are wrong or right with the place to make sure that nothing else changes when you move back out. Well, on my checklist, guess what I had? You can't really see them at the moment, but there were white stains underneath the computer desk. It doesn't take a lot of imagination to think a boy was staying in here the year before I was. But God, Opal, you could have cleaned the carpets. It's no big ask, is it, you skanks? Just above my window in Opal One is an air conditioning unit. That thing there blows out cold air, freezing cold air, for 365 days a year. A bit like Sue's arse. It's really nice in the summer, when you've moved out of Opal, because you don't live here in the summer. But in the winter, when you're living here, it is absolutely freezing. And you can't change the temperature. It's set by the control desk downstairs, and they say it's broken. So what do you do about it? You stick a sock in it. There's a tip. Oh, right, I've got to get on with packing this place up. Very, very, very messy. And that is how you tidy a room.